Alright, if you take a strip and you join it this way, you get a Mobius strip, and there's only one side in what is otherwise a three-dimensional object. And this is the new Mobius fan from Cooler Master. Welcome to Machines and More. So I'm not entirely sure about the origin of the name. Certainly this is an intriguing shape, and hopefully this is an interesting fan as well. Alright, so this one is the new Mobius fan, and it's launching in both an ARGB and a blacked out version, so it's great to have that option. And a big thanks to Cooler Master for providing the review units today. This review is not sponsored by them, and as always, all reviews on this channel are independent. Cooler Master is launching this within their performance series of fans, which already includes a similarly styled SF120M, also ARGB, and that also features this ring blade design here. And while the ring blade that interconnects these blades means that it's not strictly a Nidec Gentle Typhoon clone, you've still got the back sweep on the fan blades here that's reminiscent of that design, and it's also similar to other high performance fans currently, like the Noctua NFA 12x25, your Fantex T30, and the Be Quiet Silent Wings 4. The headline features here are the ring blade design, the improved airflow, addressable RGB, self-lubricating bearing system they call the Loop Dynamic Bearing, and this inside of the frame has a chamfer too. So overall, this fan is designed to be noise optimized. It's a nice looking fan. The frame is simple. There's no corner bumpers, but there are vibration dampening pads on both sides, and they are attached to the fan frame near the mounting holes, and you get an elegantly braided cable for both the fan and the RGB cables. Now the RGB side does allow daisy chaining if you're getting the ARGB one, but not the fan side. The ARGB version has a translucent blade assembly. The lighting will cascade out from the center of the fan where the LEDs are, and with the interconnected fan blades, it reminds me a lot of the Arctic P12 ARGB. The non-RGB version has a black frame, but the blade assembly and the vibration dampeners are more of a dark blue color, so do keep that in mind if you're thinking of getting an all-black fan. The blade assembly is actually quite stable. There's not too much lateral movement at all. The axle, it does feel solid and smooth, so this does feel like more of a higher end product than some of the other Cooler Master fans that you might have come across before. But my impression thus far is that the Noctua, the Fantex, and the Be Quiets, they're still a notch above in terms of the build quality. They do go down to 0 RPM if you like to set up your fan curves that way. There aren't any RPM switches like you might see with the Fantex and the Be Quiet Silent Wings 4 Pro. And interestingly, the ARGB version does go a bit faster to 2400 RPM, whereas the non-RGB one, it does top out at around about 2050 RPM. Not sure why that is, but that's just how it is. To test these, I mounted them on the same setup that we previously tested the Be Quiet Silent Wings 4 with, 2 of these on the Sapphire AIO. I will note that I only tested the RGB version because I only got one of these non-RGB ones, but it's not unreasonable to expect that the performance with the non-RGB version will be similar, but I did want to footnote that I wasn't able to test the performance of these on a radiator. Here we are doing noise normalized testing at 2 noise levels, 5800X here at 1.25 volts. One thing I noticed is that for the equivalent noise level, they do spin a bit faster. At the quieter noise level tested against other high-end performance fans, it actually does do quite well, and it just edges out the Silent Wings 4 Pro. And we are within striking distance of the Noctua. Quite impressive. At the higher noise level though, these don't improve much, and because of that they do fall behind the new Silent Wings. At the moderate RPM level, this fan design does perform quite well, as you've seen, and at the moderately high RPM levels, where I might consider limiting an AIO fan to, it does fall behind the other performance options. Noise-wise, it's quite polished, and no concerns here. No odd vibrations or rumbles, so let's just take a quick listen here at some select intervals. Okay, so you've seen the numbers. It's definitely no slouch. The construction is decent, and it might be especially interesting if you want the lighting and you also want the performance, but the price here is the kicker, because I'm told that the MSRP for this non-RGB version is coming in at $29.99, or basically $30 US, and for the ARGB version, it's $34.99 or $35. So that's where this recommendation gets tough, since even if you don't want RGB, you can get better performance in the Noctua and the Fantex for $1 or $2 more. Or you can get similar performance in the Silent Wings 4, but for a whole lot less at around $24. Then on the RGB side, probably the closest comparison is going to be this Arctic P12 ARGB, and although I didn't retest these with the same setup here, typically these fall within 2 degrees of the Noctua NFA12x25, so figure on a noise normalized basis, your Mobius fans, they should be roughly on par. And the Mobius, it does have a higher max RPM and slightly better build quality, I'd say. Of course, these have the more complete daisy chain cables, and it's only about $17, so you can get 2 fans for the price of 1 Mobius. So at the end of the day, on its own, it's still a very impressive fan. You've got a 5-year warranty from Cooler Master, so if you take a look and you don't mind the price, it's absolutely worth considering. Do consider all your options as well in the high-end space. So I hope you found this helpful. Please give a like, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll leave the links down below when these hit the virtual shelves. Thanks for watching today.